Okay, so hi everyone, welcome on board to the NMAT series. We have with us today Shiv, who has successfully converted it to NMIMS. So congratulations, Shiv, on making it to NMIMS.
Thank you.
Great. So tell us about your entire background and your entire journey to making it to NMIMS.
Sure. So I have done my BCom from Mithibai College in Bombay. After that, I started working with at my father's business, which was construction project management.
Okay.
And after that, I gave my NMAT last year, but unfortunately I couldn't make the cutoff. This time I again decided to give my NMAT and I made the cutoff.
Lovely. So what was your NMAT score this time?
Sorry, my NMAT what?
Score this time?
My NMAT score was 248.
Good. Nice. So, and then how was your whole interview experience at NMIMS? Like coming from Mithibai, I'm sure they would expect you to know a lot more of NMIMS since it's like bang opposite.
Correct. Yeah. So a lot more. Yeah, that's true because of that. And so yeah, I mean, the interview experience was, it was not that long. It was quite short. I think if I remember correctly, it was a while back. So I might miss out on a few details, but for the most part, I do remember the whole thing. So in the beginning, they asked me about where I've studied, what I've studied, and all of that. Then I kind of led them on because in between, I had started my own business for about a year.
Okay.
And so I kind of led them on to that topic, and because I knew a lot about that. So they started asking me about that, about what I did, how I did. They asked me about what went wrong, about certain problems that I faced, all of those things. And apart from that, they also asked me about, what I want to do in the future, whether I want my own business or do I want to work under a big company or something like that. Apart from that, they started asking me about the share market, about how many companies are there in the Sensex, and whether the companies are dynamic or whether they've been the same since a very long time. I mentioned about my interest in marketing, so they were starting to ask me about what in the current scenario, which company impresses me the most in terms of marketing and stuff like that. So I spoke about this company in the US that I've been particularly interested in. That's what I spoke about. And again, it was something that they won't have too much information about, but I had a lot of information about. So
Nice.
I could kind of lead the conversation on in that way.
Okay, that's interesting. Any particular question which you thought that, you kind of fumbled and you're like, okay, why was this being asked to me?
Yeah, I mean, I think they asked me something about discounted cash flow model in terms of did you do this in your startup and stuff like that, which was something that I felt, I fumbled. First of all, I forgot the definition of discounted cash flow. So I fumbled in that aspect. The other thing is I didn't do that in my startup.
Okay.
It was a small online business. So that was something that I was not doing. So that was one of the questions that I kind of fumbled.
Interesting. And how many panelists did you have for your interview?
I had 3.
Okay. All right. And all faculties?
Now that actually I don't know, because the Zoom meeting just said panelist 1, panelist 2, and panelist 3.
Okay, that's interesting. Great. And so, how did you start preparing for your interviews once you got the call and, you know that, yes, I have got an NMIMS Mumbai call. How did you go about preparing for this new process of WOT and PI?
So I had then I had obviously subscribed to the Cat King this thing exams and all of that mock NMAT. I forgot the name, booster or something like that. And so that I had subscribed to, and after that I got this message about this interview thing. I mean, I used to watch your videos and Rahul's videos about these things, and so I found out about this interview pack also, GDPI pack also. So I subscribed to that also. I used to read these experiences from those dossiers, and those few news dossiers that you all had about certain topics, Amazon's battle with Reliance and all those things. So those I read. Luckily, they didn't ask me any of those things. But so those things I read, and certain questions that I prepared for about why MBA, and certain of those common questions that were also there in one of those dossiers. So those things I prepared for in a way.
Okay, that's interesting. What kind of advice would you like to give people who are, aspiring to write NMAT, and given these interviews, how many mocks should they give for practice, since NMAT is speed based, and for interviews, what all things should they keep in mind?
Right. I think in terms of practice, you can just keep practicing. And I gave 2 attempts. I think I mean, I feel I practiced a lot, but I still thought that I could get more than 248, but I didn't. Had I practiced a little more on the weaker aspects of mine, I probably could have got more. I don't know.
Okay.
But so though that is one. In terms of interviews, this is something that I go by. I try to not be too much of myself. Sometimes you just have to manipulate the conversation and lead them on in a way. Of course, uh, I don't advocate lying, but at least leading the conversation on is something, is a very legal approach to getting by.
There should be a flow towards taking them to your stronger areas and pulling them up for the same, but you need to prepare for those, the
Right.
Okay, that's lovely.
Correct. So, yeah.
That's really great. And thank you so much, Shiv, for spending time with us, and wish you all the best for the journey in NMIMS.
Thank you.